Making moves Monday on a Monday night. And before I get into my topic on tonight, here's a scripture for you. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may attain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16. And my topic I want to talk about on tonight is it better to have liability car insurance or to have full coverage? Now, with liability insurance, this insurance is usually a lot cheaper and than full coverage, and then it also will definitely help you as far as budgeting if you don't want to pay a whole lot of money for insurance. Oftentimes people want to pay the cheapest price that they could pay, and so usually liability is definitely good as far as you not having to pay a whole lot of money. Now with this only usually covers you in case you hit somebody, in case you damage something, in case there's legal fees. So these are some of the things that they actually cover. They also cover bodily injuries. So if you hit a car, or this will cover that person that you hit, or if you damage some property based on you hitting something, it will also cover this. And then if there's any legal fees that come about in terms of you actually getting sued, or an insurance company coming at you for what you did in a car accident. Now, one of the things too, you definitely want to check on this to make sure and see what does your actual coverage covers, because it will show you basically the price of how much it will actually cover and how much they're willing to pay out. It's important that you check these things out, because depending on what actually happens, let's say if your insurance company doesn't really cover a whole lot on somebody's injuries or on the damage to a car or other property, then you will have to pay the difference to that. So you want to look at those things when getting liability insurance only. Now, with full coverage, usually if you're making payments on a car, then you usually, well, not usually, you're supposed to get full coverage insurance. So if you are making payments, they're going to require you to have full coverage, because if anything actually happens to the car, or you hit somebody, somebody hits you, and you haven't actually finished paying off the actual car, then they want to make sure that it's actually covered. And then your insurance will definitely cover the remaining costs of those payments that you have to actually make towards the car. So this is why usually if you're making payments on a car, the people that you are making payments to will require you to actually get full coverage. But if your car is actually paid off, you can still actually get full coverage. And full coverage will not only cover the person that you may actually hit, or the property that you may damage, or anybody's protecting their bodies or any injuries that they may have after you've actually hit them. This also will cover you as well. So let's say, for instance, if somebody accidentally hits you, then this will actually cover you and your actual car. Then at the same token, it will actually cover your injuries that you may suffer, and it will cover your court costs as well, and even with this person if they try to sue you. So overall, full coverage works in your favor, because it actually helps you out as well as being covered, and not just the person. And this helps you out if you're possibly not at fault and you're still in a car accident. And if you are at fault, this helps you out, and then it makes sure your car is still covered. So these are some things that full coverage will actually do for you. And then usually you may be able to pay more to actually rent this or get a car that you can rent if you do actually get in an accident. Now, another thing to point out is the price is definitely much higher on full coverage. And so this is why people will tend to not want to get full coverage, because they have to actually pay more money out of their pocket. Okay, so comparing the two, I think breaking it down, it definitely should matter as far as what your budget is. Depending on if you are in a good place financially, you may want to go with the full coverage. As I stated earlier, if you are making payments on a car, you have to do full coverage anyway. But if your car is paid off, you can get full coverage if your financial means are okay and you're doing good. If you're not doing so good financially, I can see where you would lean towards going with the liability and just trying to be the best driver you can and play as a defensive driver, watching out for people and making sure they don't hit you and things like that, or that you don't get in any accident. But it's also important to know that with having the full coverage, this will definitely help you out in terms of being able to have your car covered as well, because you never know when you may actually get hit by somebody, or when somebody may be under the influence driving and crash into you, or anything can just happen in terms of driving. You never know what may happen, or a car just running a red light and then smashing into you. So full coverage will definitely help you with this. And so if you can financially afford it, I would recommend that you actually get full coverage, because you never know what may actually happen. And I'm trying to think of the name of the commercial of the company, but basically the guy that's always doing mayhem and he just doing crazy stuff. I can't, they're slipping me right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So that car insurance coverage, that's some of the reason why you should get full coverage, because you never know when somebody may just be doing mayhem for whatever reason and cause a few issues and will actually do something and damage your car. Now, in terms of also too, making sure that your car is that you can rent a car, you may want to look into that if you do get full coverage, because you have to have that in your actual plan, saying, hey, you know, I want to be able to rent a car if something does actually happen to my car. And then another thing that you may want to look at in terms of your deductible. They may ask you possibly for a $200 deductible, maybe a $500, and maybe $1,000. Now, I would say you could probably lean in towards having the 500 instead of doing the 1,000, because let's just say, for instance, you do get in a car accident and they want you to pay $1,000. Some people may not actually have $1,000 saved up, and then you never know what your situation may be, and then it may not be as easy for you to borrow $1,000 to pay your actual deductible. So at 500, that's usually a price that maybe you can afford, or that you can actually borrow from somebody or borrow from some company, so that you can actually pay that actual deductible. So that's why I would say maybe 500 is the better route to go. But then there's also some places that they will do possibly a $200 deductible. So look at those things when you are getting your car insurance. And then also make sure that you're looking at the fine print and how much they actually cover in coverage for your medical, for damages, and then also for legal fees. Because this, like I stated earlier, will come up in a case, or if you do have an accident and if they don't have enough money, then they'll be looking for you to actually cover it. Now, with having more coverage, if you do want to get that, companies will offer that to you, but it will be at a higher price. So, once again, you'll have to look at your own budget based on what you can actually afford, and then that should help you to know if you can afford to get more coverage to cover you in case something actually happens. But this has been another Making Moves Monday on a Monday night. All right, so it was Allstate. That's what I was thinking of, the Mayhem guy, the Allstate guy. But anyways, remember always, one move can change your whole life.